is Tijah Bumgarner. I'm from Fayette County, West Virginia originally, and I'm currently an assistant professor here at Marshall University as the coordinator of the video production program and also a filmmaker. I'm from a very small town called Meadow Bridge. I had a great childhood. I didn't grow up with a lot of money, but damn, I had a great family. Once I got into high school, there was something in me that wanted something different or something more. And I personally thought that was gonna be acting for me, and then ended up in California, going to Second City, trying to do some acting. And I had a friend who was gonna go to a community college, College of the Canyons. When I grew up, I thought that college was all just one thing. I didn't know that you could go to college for something that you enjoy doing. Decided to take a couple of classes at this community college, and I took a class called Structure of the Moving Image. The professor of that class was teaching like a filmmaking class, and I'm like, oh, I think I'd be interested in this. And it just kind of like snowballed from there. That was a huge part, not just in wanting to make my own films and work here, but also to be able to teach here based on those experiences of growing up in Meadow Bridge. And so I started working on a script about growing up in Meadow Bridge. And it was just, you know, something that I'd worked on for a really long time. And then at CalArts, which is where I decided to go, well, luckily got in to film school at CalArts. And it was interesting to like show that in class and get critique. Things were said I didn't expect. They were surprised that this town existed. Anything that I write, I really want to write what I know. But sometimes I can't know everything, and I want to explore these other stories. And so sometimes it's starting off with this documentary and pulling from that real world, but it's pulling from those moments, those raw moments, and then narrativizing them. And narratives can sometimes get at a deeper truth than documentary can, because you're able to explore something maybe more in depth that you couldn't capture, or you don't have access to these spaces, but you can shape what these spaces look like based on those real stories. So Her Hope Haven is what I hope to be a limited series that is set in a women's residential recovery center in West Virginia. I originally started making that about grand families and this kinship care. And I ran into someone I knew from many years ago, and she's like, Tijah, I'm raising my granddaughter right now. She's like, my daughter Ashley, she's in recovery now, but, you know, and told me a little bit about her story, and she's like, Ashley would definitely talk to you about this. And it started off as gonna be a short documentary. Then I met Ashley, and it became a lot more than just a documentary. You made it.
I did make it.
It's very much based on Ashley's life. She helped write it, she helped cast it, all of the things. It exists because of her. In that process, like, I remember thinking about it and planning it and, you know, producing it and all of those things, but I didn't realize like the impact that I actually hoped it would have. It became this more of a community project, more than I expected. And I remember when we wrapped up filming in June with like a couple of the women, one woman, she's almost in tears, and she was like, I needed this, I really needed this. On November 6th, 2021, Ashley passed away. And so the projects, of course, have taken on something else that it took me a while to think about even navigating those projects. They didn't matter. We lost this beautiful life because of this very thing that we're making these projects about. I think West Virginia plays such a huge role in my work. Without that grounding, without growing up in small town West Virginia, I mean, of course it's hard to know, but I'm like, what stories would I tell? There's almost this challenge in trying to change minds that I think pushes my work as well. And so without being from West Virginia, without this place like running through my veins, then I wouldn't have those stories to tell. All right. Here we go. Make sure that you are asking questions as you go along.
This is a learning process. I do not expect to
Something that I think I'll go into even a classroom with this advice, and I don't know, it doesn't pertain to everybody. It doesn't pertain for all aspects of what the entertainment industry has to offer, what it can be. But for me, what I really tell students is like, I can't teach you passion. You have got to want it.
Ready?
Yeah, let's go team. We got this.
All right, let's get a call. All right, quiet on set.
And, you know, in my classes, I understand that students come from all different levels, and I try to make it as equitable of a classroom as I can. But I feel like that's something that I often try to bring to the fore. It's just like, I have this bar and I'm gonna set it up here, and you're not all gonna get there, and that's okay. But if you want to, because this is what you want, and you know, you feel like there's nothing else you can do, like this is what you have to do, you have that passion, I was like, I will help you get there.
Cut.
All right, cut. Let's go on to that next shot. Yeah. So you gotta move on. Move on. Next shot.